a lot of news has been made about Tom Morello because my good friend has been all over social media defending the Rage Against the Machine shows, which are hugely in demand, as you would imagine. I've said this so many times, nothing makes your guarantees and interest level go up more than going away for a while. The latest case in point, Rage Against the Machine, who are selling tickets at crazy prices, at crazy amounts around the country for their touring, which they don't do very often. They hardly ever play live. So it's an event. But a lot of fans complaining about the ticket prices, which the band is about. They are not charging anyone anywhere as a face price ticket for the show itself anytime more than $125 a ticket. That's the most they personally are charging. And then, of course, we go into all the scalping and secondary markets. Now, Rage has a whole different component going on here, where they are also doing upcharges on their tickets with money going to charity. And fans have not been able to figure out what exactly is happening, and it's led to some confusion. Tom has been out there doing his best to try to explain what's happening. The one thing he is adamant about telling fans, no ticket is being sold for Rage Against the Machine profits above $125. Anything above that is money that is going to a charity if it's earmarked as such, or you're getting scalped. I reached out to Tom and asked him if he'd want to come on and clarify all this. He got back to me. He said that, like a lot of major bands, when there's major touring, they are not doing press for their upcoming tour. However, I'll be seeing him when I get to LA tonight. I don't know if we'll get together tonight, but we always hang when I'm out there, and I'll get some insights from him and share what I can, what is okay to share when I can share it. But there's a lot made of that, and this is an example of a band trying to do the right thing, trying to protect against these insane overages that people are seemingly willing to pay, but then complain about. And this is a band saying, whoa, this isn't us. We're actually giving this money to charities, or you're getting scalped. Look at the situation. It's probably one of the two scenarios. That's my understanding, at least. But I got to tell you guys, and I've said it a million times, like, what I'll never understand is when people pay insane prices, especially if they can't afford it, and then complain about it. Whatever show it is, I mean, whatever, don't go. I mean, just don't go. I know that's hard to comprehend for some people, but it's pretty simple. If you can't afford it, or it's too expensive for you, or you can't justify it, don't go. You don't have to go. And guess what? If enough people don't go, it'll change. But for all the people that drop $2,000 on a ticket and then bitch about it, you just proved that the market is willing to support that much for a ticket, so it will not change. How many people complained about the Guns N' Roses ticket prices when that tour first started? A ton. We had a ton of calls about it. People still went, became the biggest tour of the ever, whatever, right? People still went in droves. Now, 3-4 years in, your Guns N' Roses ticket's going to be a little more affordable. Shows aren't wall-to-wall sellouts. Wait it out. But people get so wrapped up in the hype and they got to do it. And if you can afford it, go crazy. If you don't care and money's no object, go crazy. But you're supporting the mechanism and the marketing and the justification for bands charging exorbitant prices or scalpers charging exorbitant prices if you pay the money. because you're just showing the world that, yeah, that's worth that. If someone's willing to pay that much for something, that means that it's worth that much. This ties into Pearl Jam, who have been tremendous in their battle against scalping. Tremendous in what they've done to stop bots and secondary markets and what have you. And now Pearl Jam is involved in Congress. This article in Rolling Stone by John Blistein. Pearl Jam states that certain aspects of legislation meant to crack down on scalpers would actually benefit them. Pearl Jam issued a letter to 2 Democratic representatives urging them to reconsider some parts of a bill meant to crack down on ticket scalping, Politico reports. New Jersey's Bill Pascrell and Frank Pallone Jr. are behind the Better Oversight of Secondary Sales and Accountability in Concert Ticketing Act. How about that? How many people in my audience like that act? Bill was first introduced in 2009 after Ticketmaster redirected people looking for Bruce Springsteen tickets to secondary market sites with huge markups. Fittingly, the bill is referred to as the Boss Act. Pascrell and Pallone Jr. reintroduced the bill last year, and it seeks to add greater transparency to the ticket selling process and enact regulations that would crack down on scalpers, bots, and resellers. What a concept. Now congressmen are willing to do this, and a band like Pearl Jam is willing to do this. A lot of other bands don't want this to happen. Why? Because they're getting a piece of the resale action. That's the dirty little secret. That's why it's so admirable what Pearl Jam's doing here. The article goes on. Non-transferable ticketing has been a major part of Pearl Jam's recent touring plans, including their upcoming Gigaton tour. Non-transferable tickets can't be resold on secondary markets because the person who made the original purchase has to be present when entering the building. Additionally, making non-transferable tickets fully digital allows for a constantly refreshing barcode that can't be copied. In their letter to Pascrell and Pallone, Pearl Jam stated that blocking non-transferable tickets makes it easier for scalpers to get their hands on tickets. Over the last decade of selling concert tickets, we have seen this become an important tool to ensure our fans get to see us at a reasonable price, the band states. There's also another part of the bill that they're fighting because where these Congress people are thinking this is going to help prevent scalping, Pearl Jam's saying there's certain parts of it that will actually benefit scalpers, better known as these days secondary markets. Can't give Pearl Jam enough credit. I don't care if you like them or not. They are the one band that is really, for years now, actively fighting their fans getting fleeced. And they have the fan base to prove it with the loyalty that they've cultivated with their fan base. But this is a band that is speaking up and actually doing something about it and standing behind it and actually coming up with new technology to prevent